Hello and welcome back to UK NBA. This is episode 15, part 3. I'm Ryan Hillback.
And I'm Peter Wells.
And this episode is concerning, is concerning the playoff race in the East, and it's concerning from 7th to 12th. And who are those teams?
Those are the Miami Heat, Brooklyn Nets, Indiana Pacers, Charlotte Hornets, Boston Celtics, and the Detroit Pistons. As you can see, they are separated by just 3 games at the moment, those 6 teams. So it's going to be a fantastic race to the final for 2 places. So 6 teams fighting for 2 places.
Yeah, that's exactly the sort of competition you want to see. And at the moment now, we're going to have a little bit of a look at the schedules of these teams. I'll take you through the Brooklyn Nets. These are the home games to begin with, right? Yeah. We've got the Charlotte Hornets tonight. On Friday, the 6th, they're facing the Suns. On Sunday the 8th, they've got the Jazz. At Tuesday the 10th, they've got No, but I think that's New Orleans.
Yes.
I don't know how good a side No are, but
No, they're not doing well.
I don't rate them as good as Yes. And then you talk us through their road trip.
Yeah, they're going into Miami before they head out to Philadelphia.
And what a big game that could potentially be.
Yeah, Miami's going to be a big game. Philadelphia Timberwolves, you say, they're away from home. Them could be triple games.
Yeah, I'd say they'd win those two. And then they come to Cleveland.
Cleveland, very tough game. They've also got the Bucks, the Pacers, and the Celtics. Obviously, Bucks 6th place. Pacers, they're away there. So that can be tough. Celtics as well, also going to be in that race.
I think the Nets are a definite maybe, judging on that. I reckon it would all depend on how they got on against the Heat. If it was to win that game, and then maybe you never know after that. They could pick up those 2 wins, Sixers and the Timberwolves, and then they've got the Celtics, obviously, which will be another big game.
And finish off with the Hornets, which could be a crucial game near the end of the season. Cavaliers, Lakers. And then at home to the Pacers, which could be an all-or-nothing game now.
It could be.
So they've got a decent schedule. It's not the worst. They've got a couple of games against Cleveland. They've got to go into Charlotte. I mean, they've got to go into Indiana as well.
They've got to go to the Celtics.
They've got to go to
home to the Celtics.
But they've got to go into Miami. So they've got a schedule where they can make it if they get the right results. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 home games there. So not bad.
So it's definitely doable. But Charlotte Hornets. I mean, they're facing the Lakers. They did yesterday.
Yeah.
So maybe they got in that one. We don't know.
We'd expect to win.
Yeah.
If they did. The Nets away. So that's, as we've mentioned, that's going to be a crucial game.
Raptors at home and the Pistons on the road, 6th and 8th.
Yeah, and then Washington. That's a hard run. That's 4 tough games there that could go 2-2, 1-3, maybe even 3-1. You'd expect. Obviously, you've got to play the Kings, the Bulls, both at home.
Road trips as well, then to the Jazz,
the
Clippers, the Kings, and the Timberwolves on the 16th, 17th, 20th, and 22nd.
Yeah, so it's not the worst road trip, but it can also always be tough for these teams. You can just go on a little bit of a losing streak and then finish that off in Chicago. And then they've got Brooklyn again, and then they're in Washington. And then they've got the Hawks, and finally finishing off against the Celtics. So you have to say it's a bit of a...
For me, that's too much. There's too much to do for them, and I think they won't make the playoffs for me, judging on that. Especially the road trips. They've got some really tricky games at the Clippers, especially is a very tough, difficult game. For me, no. I think the Brooklyn Nets have got the best chance so far.
Don't like this schedule already.
No, this schedule's horrendous. This is the Detroit Pistons who are in that lowest position in the terms of what we were talking about from the 7th to the 13th place. They've got the Pelicans tonight. Then they go to the Rockets. I mean, that's a really, really difficult game as well. And then they play the Hornets, as we mentioned previously, at home. And then you talk us through that road trip. That's difficult.
First 7 games, 6 of them are on the road. They've got Lakers, Warriors, Blazers and Jazz, all losable. You know, you'd expect them to maybe get 1, maybe 2 wins in that trip there. They've got Grizzlies as well. Philly's not too bad, but
should beat them,
You've got Chicago Bulls and Boston Celtics as well in that. And then finally, the final 4 games there, pretty tough.
Toronto Raptors at home, and then road trips to Orlando and the Magic. It's difficult with the abbreviations. It's like it just takes a moment to to see the sides like Magic and Minnesota. That is, yeah, MIA, yeah.
MIA, Heat. MIN, Minnesota.
Yeah, I don't like these abbreviations.
No, I've got no choice. It's the only thing I can find.
And then the Hawks, obviously.
Yeah. So again, that's not the easiest trip at all for the Pistons, especially as you mentioned, being there in 12th position.
Exactly.
Like you said, that's going to probably work against them.
The Boston Celtics' schedule doesn't look too great either. They travelled to the Cavaliers yesterday.
Yeah. So
we don't know yet because we haven't read it yet. Tonight they've got the Jazz, and then they've got a 3-game road trip.
Yeah, they've got Pelicans, Magic, and Heat on that road trip. They've also got to travel out to Oklahoma City Thunder, San Antonio Spurs, Indiana Pacers, and they've got a home game then against the Grizzlies. A couple other home games.
Yeah, they're travelling to OKC and Sacramento. Yeah. The Pistons at home, the Nets away, then Miami, then the New York Knicks, and then they've got two games, a home game and an away game against the Clippers and Charlotte.
Yeah, so again, not the worst scheduling, but compare that to the Nets, who are already in a playoff position. Then it's not very easy at all. It's probably on par with the Hornets' schedule, I'd say. Not as bad as the Pistons, but certainly not the best if you're trying to push yourself into the playoff places.
I'll take you through all these, and then Pete can take you through the Heat, because I know he'd be gagging to do that.
Yeah.
On Wednesday the 4th, which is tonight, they've got the New York Knicks. On Friday, they've got the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
On the Saturday, they're going to the Knicks again. On the 10th, it's Orlando Magic. On the 12th, it is
Milwaukee
Bucks.
One thing to note about this is the Pacers schedule. A lot of these are at home.
Yeah, most of them at home. Celtics, Raptors at home. Then they go to the Bulls, the Cavaliers. Then they play the Nets and the Rockets at home. Then they travel to Washington to play the Wizards. Then they go to Milwaukee. Then they have Dallas at home, the Mavericks, and then they finish that off with a trip to Brooklyn.
So plenty of home games, but again, not the easiest schedule in terms of away games. But again, Indiana are one of those closing in. Could definitely potentially get in there if there's slip-ups from either of the Heat or the Nets. Finally, the Heat, it's a bit of a mixed bag as well for them. Lakers, obviously, tonight. And then going into Washington, you've got home games against the Kings, the Celtics, and the Nets. Two really key against the Celtics and Nets. Travelling to Toronto. And then obviously Cleveland, Portland, Nuggets. At home, Oklahoma City Thunder and the Bucks. The Celtics and the Hawks away. So that's a really tough schedule for Miami Heat. And finally, the Pistons and the Spurs away at home. So again, not the easiest of schedules for the Heat. So we're going to go through them now, finally, to wrap this up. We're going to go through each team and rate the chances. So first of all, in 12th position, Detroit Pistons.
No, definitely not.
Out of 10.
The chances of saying 10 being the highest, 0 being the lowest, 4.
4?
Yeah.
4. I'd probably say a bit lower than that. I'd say about 2. I think it's really looking bleak for them there. As I say, they're 3.5 games behind the Brooklyn Nets, so it's going to be tough for them to do it, and their schedule is not pretty at all. Boston Celtics?
Bit higher. I'm going to go for a 5.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. I'm going to say a 5. They're obviously a bit behind. They've got a great run of form now, which is always crucial.
Yeah, get that coming into the sort of the last hurdle of the season.
Game and a half behind, they haven't got the worst schedule. Got a lot of teams around them that are playing, like the Hornets, the Nets, the Heat. They've got a chance.
I think the Hornets and the Pacers for me are both 6s. 6s stroke 7s. Yeah. I'd say 6s because I think that it's a toss-up between them. I think I'd probably fancy the Hornets a little bit more than the Pacers.
I'll probably say the Hornets are 5 for me. They've got they've got a mixed bag again, much like the Heat and the Celtics. The Pacers have not the worst schedule, but they have a lot of home games, which I like fancy for them. I'll say the Pacers are a 7
to
the playoffs, especially as a half a game behind the Nets.
I think the Nets are an 8. that 8 strong. No, they're my pick actually to pick Miami. I think Miami will fall away, but I still think Miami are a solid 8 as well.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go for the Nets as a 9. I think I fancy the Nets to nick into that 7th spot.
Yeah, I think the Nets got a very good schedule. I'd say they're an 8 to get into the playoffs. And Miami as well haven't got the worst schedule. They've also got a game ahead of 9th place Pacers, which is crucial. I'd say Miami, especially with the team, we've got Dwayne Wade, Whiteside, Dragic. I think with that team, they're probably a 9 to get into the playoffs.
So my pick to get into the Eastern playoffs is the Nets. Predictably rather, Pacers, Miami Heat. Let us know who yours is.
The two. Mine are the Nets and the Heat.
So it's 7 and 8, isn't it? That you get in. Yeah, sorry. I always thought it was just 7. Yeah, so the Heat and the Nets. Obviously, we both agree there on that. I think it'll. So that's what we reckon. Let us know what you reckon in the comments below. Follow us on Twitter. That should be coming up on your screen now. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe. Like the video. Comment. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks.